Welcome back everyone. So after the recent collapse of the FTX exchange a couple of days back, there has been a bunch of rumours flying about different other centralised exchanges, notably ByBit and crypto.com, about their insolvency issues. So in this video today I wanted to touch on those rumours and any actual evidence to support whether these rumours are actually true or not. So make sure you stick around to the rest of the video to find out more. So after the collapse of FTX exchange, a bunch of other centralized exchanges promised to their users a proof of reserves, and basically what this is, it's the exchanges showing to their users, their customers, that they have the reserves funds that they say they do, just to reassure the users of the exchange that they don't have any insolvency issues like FTX had, which would then open them up to potentially collapsing in the same way that FTX did. Now, since what happened with FTX, there has been a bunch of rumors going around about different centralized exchanges and their weaknesses in their exchanges as well. Notably ByBit and crypto.com. At the moment there's a couple of rumors going around, so I wanted to touch on those today. I wanted to start off with ByBit. Now both of these two exchanges actually did give a proof of reserves report. So today, right now, we are looking at ByBit's proof of reserves, and you can see here they have holding in the reserves over $2 billion US dollars. And you can see how that's broken down here. So they mostly hold their native token, the BIT token. 65% of their value is held in this. And then apart from that, they're relatively stable. They have 15% in Ethereum, but apart from that, they seem to be holding stable coins. Now you can argue it's a little bit risky, considering because if there was an attack on their native token BIT, that could drastically reduce their overall reserves. But that isn't what I wanted to talk about today. What I wanted to talk about was apparently one of ByBit's team, a guy that goes by the name of Joseph Park. He's a strategic partnership manager. Now during the FTX collapse, there has been some screenshots and some evidence showing that he was quite desperately trying to acquire a FTX Bahamas account with a KYC. Now people are speculating, and you have to remember, most of the speculation rumors are going off tweets that people are putting with me, some screenshots. We can't validate whether any of this stuff is true. They are just rumors, but there was some screenshots of him showing that he was trying to acquire a FTX Bahamas KYC account, which some people have said that could be because FTX were holding a large position on the FTX exchange, which then could directly affect their own exchange. Now, apart from those screenshots, there isn't really that much more evidence to go with it, so you take it with a pinch of salt. But I would just say to anybody that is holding money on any of these exchanges, even if you think back to the capitulation events that have already happened this year, whether it be the Terra Luna incident or the Celsius one, you just got to play it safe. Just make sure you don't have your funds on these exchanges that could potentially have problems. Why hold them here when you can hold them in safer places? If you are going to really must hold your funds on an exchange, maybe because you don't have a ledger, then pick one of the safer exchanges. So far, in terms of all the exchanges that have provided a proof of reserves, we know that Binance seems to be the most secure one. They've got about 65 billion in the reserve, so maybe hold your money there. But if you're at some place in the world that you're not allowed to open a Binance account for some reason, then just invest in a ledger. It costs you $100, and it's the safest place to hold your money. So moving on to the second rumor of the day, this revolves around crypto.com and Gate.io, and also a couple of different centralized exchanges that are apparently conspiring together to fake their proof of reserves report. So as you can see here, crypto.com did produce a proof of reserves, and actually as of yesterday they were worth 2.9 billion, and as of today they are now worth 2.5 billion. So there's been a drastic drop of $400 million. But from having a little bit of a closer look to their portfolio, I think where it says others here, this 20%, this is going to be their native token CRO. Now I know that since these rumors have been spreading around online, their native Crow has took a massive hit, so maybe the recent drop in reserves could be directly related to that, but it could be also directly related into the accusations that Crypto.com and Gate.io and maybe a couple of different exchanges have been sending funds to each other in order to fake their proof of reserves report. Now, as you can see here, I'm just going to stick this tweet up on the screen. Like I say, most of this evidence that I'm providing you today comes from Twitter, and it comes from people making screenshots and some blockchain transactions. So, take it with a pinch of salt. I'm not saying anything is 100% completely true. I'm just trying to provide you guys with some of the evidence that I've seen. So as you can see here, Crypto.com accidentally sent 320k of ETH to Gate.io on the 21st of October. On the 28th of October, Gate then shows their proof of reserves and then sends 285,000 ETH back. Now, one thing you can do is you can see the Twitter handles of all these people that are making these tweets that I'm showing you guys. So you can always go onto Twitter, look at their pages and find these tweets yourself, and then you can go through onto Ethereum Scan and you can see these transactions for yourself. We also have then that the owner of Crypto.com, Chris, you can see his reply to that. He did actually make a statement, and again, you can go onto his Twitter handle and you can go onto his Twitter and you can find these tweets and you can see that these are legit tweets. And basically, Crypto.com replied and said that these transactions were supposed to be a move into cold storage addresses, but were accidentally sent to external exchange addresses. It says that we worked with the Gate team and the funds were subsequently returned. But it just sounds suspicious. I mean, this is just coming from an investor's perspective. It's very hard. Obviously, everybody's human and human error does happen. But I just think when you're sending this amount of money, when you're sending 320k's worth of ETH at the time, it's probably worth, $500,000. There's just certain things that you double check, and you double check that the address that you're sending to is the correct address. It's very... To me, when you're sending that amount of money, whether it's your own money or an exchange's money, you just got to double check these things. So I find it very strange that this has happened, and whether Crypto.com are being truthful or not, I can't tell you that. But the one thing that I can tell you is just got to play it safe at the moment. We don't know, after we've seen like a top 3 centralized exchange just collapse in a couple of days, you just can't trust anybody or anything at the moment. You just got to keep your funds as safe as possible. Keep them in BUSD, USDC, probably the safest stable coins out there. Binance is one of the most secure exchanges. We've seen their proof of reserves. 99% chance that there's going to be nothing wrong is going to happen to them. USDC is backed by BlackRock, so they've got basically the biggest investment fund backing them, and they've also are completely backed by US dollars, so your money should be safe there too. And then you want to be keeping this in a ledger, or at least on Binance exchange, because if the last couple of days has just taught us anything, even holding your money on another tier 1 exchange is still a massive risk. And as you can see here on this last little screenshot, you can see even CZ from Binance is taking a little shot at all the different exchanges. You can see that obviously Binance are taking this opportunity to try and maybe monopolize the crypto world as much as you can, which you can't really blame them for taking the opportunity. Now, one last thing I did want to touch on, if we go back to the proof of reserves for Crypto.com. Now, as we were looking at ByBit earlier, and we see now they're holding 65% of their portfolio in their native token, which obviously can drastically change in price, especially if there is a bunch of negative news about that exchange. Now we can see the holdings of Crypto.com, they're actually holding 21% of their portfolio in Shiba Inu, which I found quite shocking, really. Now, whether you love Shiba Inu or you hate Shiba Inu, it's still a meme token, and for a tier 1 centralized exchange to be holding 21% of its reserves in a meme token, is a little bit questionable. They also seem to be very light on stable coins, only holding about 10% of their portfolio in there. So obviously they've got the drastic drop in price of BTC and ETH will also massively affect them. And 20% in their native token compared to 65% in over on ByBit, which I think is a little bit better, because as you can see from all the negative news around Crypto.com today, their native token Crow has dropped significantly in value. It's maybe dropped in almost 50% today. I'll just get the chart up now so you guys can see. Yeah, here it is. Look, I mean, just a few days ago we were trading at 12 cents, and you could have bought some Crow at 3 cents today. So you can see how much that news had a massive negative effect, you know, similar to what happened to Sol the other day. And yeah, so the aim of this video is not to tell you that this exchange isn't safe, this exchange isn't safe, this exchange is going to collapse like FTX and this one isn't. You know, I don't know. I'm just trying to provide you guys with some of the evidence that I've seen and trying to make sure that you guys are as safe as possible. So guys, that's pretty much it for today. Thanks for listening as always, and until next time, bye.